What's going on, guys? Niko here, and in this lesson I'm going to be showing you the top 10 chord progressions Avicii used in his music, and I was blown away when I went and broke these down about how good of a songwriter that Avicii was. And what I did is I took the lyrics to every Avicii song ever released, broke down every single melody and every single chord progression, which I'm going to be going over in this video and videos to come. So make sure when you watch this video, you don't skip ahead, you don't jump around, watch it through full. And the promise I'll make to you is that you will become a much better songwriter. And I sure as hell know that I have after going through all these songs. So that being said, let's jump into it. All right, guys, before we jump into the lesson, I want to let you know that I'm giving away a free piano lesson. So comment down below piano mastery, and I'm going to be selecting one winner every single Friday to get a free piano lesson from me, whether you want to improve your songwriting, just playing the piano, or anything else that I can help with. Additionally, I have started releasing a bunch of free MIDI packs, so you can check those out in the description. I have the Avicii Chord Progression MIDI pack, Sagala, Elenium, and I'll be adding more and more, so check those out as well. Now let's jump over to the piano and break down these chord progressions. All right, so before we jump in, I just want to quickly go over the chord lineup. We're going to be doing all of this. I've transposed all of this into the key of C. So we're only going to be using the 7 notes unless we have a borrowed chord or anything like that. So the 7 chords in the key of C are the C major, D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor, B diminished, and then C. And there's a whole entire other video on how that works. But for now, let's just use that as our starting point and then create the chord progression song by song. So I have 3 different variations of chord progressions in Without You. So the first one, the way the song starts off, it starts off with the 1, 4, and 1 chord like this. And then it goes. So what Avicii's doing here is he's jumping back and forth between 1, 4, 1 and 1, 5, 1. Right, and if we use some inversions, we can make this sound really cool. And this is the hallelujah, like. And the first Without You, really all we're doing right here, this is the 4 chord, but what we've done is we've inverted it. Notice the C up here is now down here. And then we can play the C, G, C, like that. So anyway, the song keeps on going on, and we get to a point where the chord progression changes. And then we go to an F chord, which is the 4th chord. And then we have an A minor. So another chord progression in this. And I know I said top 10 Avicii chord progressions, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down the top 10. I had top 10 chord progressions, but I broke out all the chord progressions in the song so you guys have all of them to use in your own music. So here we go. 1 or 4, 1, 5. And then I got to learn how to live without you, this part. So we start off with the 4, 5, and 6 chord. We go to the 1 and then back to the 4. Something like I'm going Bonnie and Clyde Without You. That's what I can remember right here. So basically, those are the 3 chord progressions that comprise of the Without You song, so you can feel free to use those. The next one we're going to go into is Heart Upon My Sleeve. And this one actually uses a borrowed chord. So I'm just going to play through the chord progressions in the song, and then we're going to move on to the next one. I'm not going to break down the theory too much behind it. I'm just kind of going through and giving you these chord progressions for you guys to use and showing them how I'm making them on the piano. Now, Heart Upon Our Sleeve starts off with an F, which is the 4th chord, the 1 chord, and then the 3 chord, which is a minor in the key of C. However, Avicii decides to make this a major chord. So that's how the song starts off. And then as we get further along throughout the lyrics, we have our traditional A minor, F, C, and G chord. So it sounds like this. And then eventually, somewhere throughout the song, I forget where, but he then transitions to the F, C, G minor, A minor. So this is the progression of the chord progressions, no pun intended there. of Heart Upon My Sleeve. So I want to keep moving through these, and you could pause the video. I'm going to list everything right above, so you'll see the progression that it's done, the Roman numeral analysis. Maybe I'll put the original key, maybe not, but it's for you guys to have. All right, next one, Excuse Me, Mr. Sir. I found this chord progression inside of it to be very interesting, and here's how the chord progression sounds. So it goes A minor, G, C, and then D major. So instead of a D minor, what he's doing is he's actually taking the second chord in the key of C and then making it major. So you just play around with the melody here. And what I'm doing is I'm actually using inversions. So I'm actually walking down G, and then I'm doing G, E, C, or G, C, E, which is the second inversion of the C chord. And then the D chord here, instead of going all the way down, I'm just playing an F sharp, A, and D. So I'm doing a little bit of a quick inversion. So anyway, that's that chord progression. It's a unique one. Most people don't know about it. So that's from Excuse Me, Mr. Sir. Now going to Hold the Line. This one had a really nice movement to it. So I'm not going to play through, let's see. So I'm just transposing this live. I have the chord progression, but not the melody. So I had to think about that for a second. What's going on here is it's a nice chord progression. I like this one a lot. It has a lot of good movement to it. We start off with the 1 chord, and then we go back and forth between the 5 and the 4. So we go 5, 4, 5, which is a G major, F, G major, and then we do the Avicii Rise. I'm gonna call it the Avicii Rise. I just made that up. I like that. D minor, E minor, F, and G. And then so the second chord progression in the song is kind of similar to the first one, except we're just sweeping up and then we're going back down. It's a nice long tension rise chord. And then it goes We Do or Die and then Hold the Line, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. That's what happens there. So those are the 2 chord progressions from Hold the Line that I like a lot. Next chord progressions we're breaking down, Fade into Darkness. So this one also has a lot of nice movement. So we start off with our 6th chord. We go to the G chord, and then we go to the F chord, and then we rise up. So we do D minor, E minor, F, and then G. So here we go. That's the Fade in the Darkness chord progression. And again, I've listed it above. Pause the video. By the way, guys, if you're confused on how to construct chords, check out the free download. It's called Piano Cheat Codes in the description down below. It gives you guys strategies. It gives you different keys. It gives a lot of just cheat code, literally, for the piano and how to make chords and everything else. Anyway, Fades Away is the next chord progression we're going into. And it goes like this. So we have the A minor, the G, the C, and then what Avicii does, it almost sounds like an E minor chord, except it's not. It's E, G, and then C. So it's the first inversion of the C major chord here that he's doing. And then this resolves to an F chord. And the second chord progression that I liked in this song was an F, G, A minor, and then he goes into a D major chord, which I've inverted here. This would be D, F sharp, A. I've taken the D, jumped it up an octave. And then we go into F and then G. So, and then that's the first chord progression in the song that I like. And then the second chord progression that I like goes like this. So again, we have that accidental F sharp creating the D major chord. Normally in the key of C, again, the second chord is supposed to be minor, but Avicii has made it major. Okay, next song, and I know I'm going through these at rapid pace, but I want you guys to get all of them, Ain't a Thing. This one it has a couple cool chord progressions that I really like, and it has that rising, sweeping up Avicii sound to it. So here it is for you right here. Ain't a Thing starts like this. So we have the 1 chord, the 3 chord, and the 4 chord. And then we go 4 chord, 5 chord, 6 chord. And again, when I say 6 chord, I mean the 6th chord in the key of C major, which is just an A minor, right? So. So he varies up this chord progression. So what he does the second time around is he goes C, E minor, F, and then he goes F, and he substitutes out the G chord and makes it an E major chord. So now it's the 3rd chord that was supposed to be minor in this key is now made major. And then from these 2 chord progressions, he goes into, and then it's like from the records on the final song, I think like, plays an F, C, G, and then A minor chord. And then the last chord progression, I'll add another one here when it goes, and it ain't a thing. We got the Avicii rising chord progression. That's what I've named it, the Avicii Rise. Going the 2nd chord, 3rd chord, 4th chord, and 5th chord. He just goes up the chord lineup like a chord ladder. Anyway, that's Ain't a Thing. Those are the nice chord progressions from there. Next, we're going into levels, which is a very simple. So in the chord progression in levels is A minor, C, G, and then F. And when I don't say major, when I just say the C, it means C major, just so you guys know that. That's the chord progression in levels. Next, on to Wake Me Up, and the Wake Me Up chord progression is actually the Millennium chord progression. It goes A minor, F, C, and then G. All right, that's the Wake Me Up chord progression, and then the last chord progression is from SOS. And this one has a lot of nice 7th chords to it, which Avicii started using later on, actually. I didn't think he used them that much when he was writing his melodies. There are a couple examples of it, but SOS stands out a bit because he really threw in a jazzy tone to it, right? So we start with this A minor. A minor, 7, E minor 7, F, F, G, and then back to the A minor. So something like that, but that's the chord progression. So A minor, 7, E minor 7, F, and then G. So that is a chord progression from SOS. And again, I didn't play through the entire songs or anything else like that, but I showed you different chord progressions of each used in each song. And, you know, I wouldn't say these are there's more than 10 chord progressions in this video that you guys can take away from, but his top 10 are definitely in here. So with all that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of it. If you watched all the way up until this point, I guarantee you your songwriting has improved because you now have new chord progressions you may not have known about. And again, guys, I was playing piano for years and years and years. And until I dove deep into all of Avicii's music, I was only scratching the surface with a couple of these chords. There's a lot of stuff going on here. There's a lot more to be covered, especially on this channel. I'm going to have a ton of Avicii videos because he's one of the best songwriters, and I want all you guys to have access to this information so that you can improve as well. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe down below. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought, what else you want to learn. And also, if you comment Piano Mastery, you have a chance to work with me one-on-one for free. I normally charge a lot for one-on-one lessons, but this is an opportunity for you to ask me any questions that you have. I'm not going to try to sell you anything or anything like that. It's just purely for you to become a better songwriter, producer, whatever you're working towards. So with that being said, thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video.